Well, I'm at Hot Springs, North Carolina. Decided it was time to get back on the AT for a little bit. So I'm waiting on a shuttle from Standing Bear Hostel, and they're going to carry me back down to I40, and then I'm going to end up back here. So, going to get started again. Hope it's a good trip. Well, at the end of about a 5-mile climb, somewhere 2,500 foot or so elevation gain, and stopped up here to eat lunch. Where's that thing? I was going to call this Area 51. Pretty view off here, but looking into the sun. Climb's tough on an old man. Just plugging along here. It's good to get a little bit of a downhill after that long, steady pull. Gee whiz, I didn't think that thing was ever going to end. Yeah, it's leveled out, dropping off a little here right now, so pick up a few more miles. Past Groundhog Creek shelter and kept going, made it to Brown's Gap, and my plan was to drop off on the Tennessee side of the gap and go down a little branch there ways to some decent water and find a good place to camp, and that's what I did. I started following that little branch down, and I did get some good water, but every pine tree in there was dead, and it was just an array of widowmakers. So I just kept following it on down, and came to this little spot. Not the greatest in the world, but it worked. It's kind of almost a little boggy area, and, but it's gonna be home. I got everything set up. Got some water drawn and filtered, and got my laundry done, and tested out my hammock. Took a little nap. Well, like I say, it was more of a test, just make sure everything was put up just right. You know how that is. It's physics. Something about a body in motion tends to stay in motion, and a body in rest tends to stay at rest. So anyway, but that's done. So fix me a bite of supper, and maybe take another little nap. My legs are tired. That was a little over 10 miles, and the first 5 miles was just all climbing, continuous, and then a little downhill, and another climb, and then another climb right up here at Harmondin Mountain before I dropped down to the gap here. So it's been mostly elevation gain all day, and my old legs are tired. So we're going to give them a break, start back in the morning. Well, I got up, cooked breakfast, broke camp, hiked the little distance back up that holler to Brown's Gap, turned north, and that's where I'm heading now. And once again, climbing. Trying to get the max patch here. It'll be a little while yet. I still probably got 5 miles or so to get to it. So anyway, whoop. Shaking there a little. I've been rolling along this pretty little ridge here for a little while. A lot of ferns, a lot more open than what I've been in. But beautiful morning. Turkeys is yelping, birds are calling. I'm huffing and puffing, and we just going on down this trail. Well, I'm at the very top of Max Patch, about 4,600 feet. You can see Quite a few people tent camped right on top of the ball last night. But it's quite the view. Many pictures and videos been shot from here. No matter how many times you come up, you never ceases to amaze you. It's just quite the panorama all the way around. I can't get off to the east here because the sun's pretty bad, but beautiful spot. That's been worth climb up here for this view. But what goes up must go down, so we're going down the other side. This is off the very northern escarpment of Max Patch. Looking back up. Once again, the naked eye just won't, camera just won't catch what the naked eye sees, but beautiful spot, need to see it. There's a little side trail down to Roaring Fork Shelter. In fact, barely see it down in there. But I'm continuing on. There's a little better shot of it. Tell you what, this trillium is just in bloom everywhere I go. That and the red ones, it's sure pretty. Yeah, still just plodding along here, kind of paralleling Roaring Fork off to my right. Started to shoot this a while back where you could hear it pretty good, but it didn't. But pretty little open area down through here. Still just plugging along, a few feet at a time. I'm right below Lemon Gap, a tenth or two, and nice branch here, good water. So I might just set up here. Well, I have set up here for the night. It's a good area, hammock friendly. See if I can pan around here. There's quite a few good areas. Little fire pit down here. It's one of the better spots to camp. The next water up was what is that? Walnut Shelter. And anyway, I didn't want to go to shelter, so I'm going to stay here. Woke up this morning to the sound of birds singing, a grouse drumming, a turkey gobbling. That's a pretty sweet alarm clock. But struck camp, across Lemon Gap, and climbed up here to top of Walnut Mountain, this little meadow up here. And there should be a shelter right around the corner here. And I'll see if I can get a picture of it. But about 4,300 feet. So I think the gap down there was 35. So just seemed like you're climbing. I got one more big climb to do, and that's about it. But beautiful morning. Press on. This is Walnut Mountain Shelter. It's coming off the side of Walnut Mountain. Pretty in here. Just big open area. Little downhill. There's a stream down below that you can see glistening in the sun, but it ain't gonna show because the brightness of the sun gonna block it out. But nice, pretty area here. Been on the climb here, going up Bluff Mountain for a while. It's pretty good pull. Hey, those spring heads coming out the side of the hill here. But it's just a steady grind. I gotta be getting close to the top though. Well, I finally summited Bluff Mountain. 4,700 feet. I'm not sure. There's a pretty view off to the east, but it was into the sun. You couldn't see much. So it's down a little piece looking off west. You can't see a whole lot of it, but I'm telling you, that's a steady pull. But once again, it's all worth it. That's my last major climb before I hit Hot Springs. So, yeehaw. Well, I got down off of Bluff Mountain, and it's been pretty steady downhill all the way. Went through Flow Gap, and stopped by this little footbridge, and drew some water, and had me a bite of lunch. And I'm fixing to head on down. I was going to camp at Flow Gap, but I'm a little ahead of schedule, so I don't know, may just keep going. Another pretty view off the side of the trail here. Well, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's Bluff Mountain that I just came down off of. That's a steep sucker. There's a welcome sight, an outback. And that's not Brucey High Five's playground or steakhouse. That's my automobile. All that steakhouse sounding pretty good. Whew, made it back. All right. Well, I made it back here to the vehicle. You know, I planned on staying another night, and you know, I told you back there at Flow Gap I was going to camp there, but couldn't find a decent water source, and it didn't look real hard. And then when I found that next little branch, there wasn't a good place to camp, real thick rhododendron, and I wasn't going to hump 4 liters of water and look for a place. So I filled up a couple bottles and said, well, I'll go up to Deer Park up there, and knew there was water there. But when I got there, a bunch of folks, and I said, you know, it's only 3 more miles or so to Hot Springs. Maybe I'll just go on. I heard my legs let out a moan. Oh, no, Daddy, no, please, Daddy, no. But went anyway. So that ended up being like a 15-plus day. And there's a couple good climbs there this morning. It's been a long day. But a real good trip, good weather, wildflowers in bloom, and the trillium, I have never ever caught it near peak like that in an area that abundant. I mean, there was hillsides that were solid trillium as far as you could see, blossom every square foot or so. It was just amazing, and the fragrance coming off, and enough to give the honeybees a blind staggers. But it was good weather. I met some nice, a lot of nice folks, a lot of through hikers. One fella from the Netherlands doing his second through hike. So overall, real good. Now I got a 5-hour drive home, but I reckon it's time to put lipstick on this pig and put her to bed. End of another good trip. But had a great time as always. Once again, hey, thanks for watching.